What is up, Solar Crown Racers? It is I, your wheelman, Alex Cornnut. We are here today with the everything guide, the beginner's tips and tricks, the all-encompassing everything you need to know so you can be successful when you start this game. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is awesome. I love it. I myself have about 35 hours in it, but a lot of the guys I am playing with have been no-lifing this game, and they have close to double that. So with all of our powers combined, we've got a ton of learned experience that I'm going to pass on to you, give you some tips, some tricks, some best practices, some things to do, what not to do, and some opinions. So that way, no matter where you're going to be at in this game, whether you want to get super sweaty or super casual, I've got definitely something here for you, for sure. First and foremost, all of the different DLC additions, we're going to discuss those first. So let's dig into that right now. On screen before us, I have got the Steam page up. You can see here, we are looking at the Silver Streets pack right here. You see the Streets pack and the Sharps pack are the two different editions, or you can buy the Gold edition, which has both of these. It's all encompassing. So the base game, great. Buy the base game, good value, 50 bucks. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you were going to get one of the other two editions, this is where I want to weigh in because I've already driven those cars because I do have the Gold edition. So I already know what you're getting into and I want to make a recommendation. All things considered, if you go and you get the Streets, you get the Land Rover Defender and the Mercedes-Benz SLS. The SLS is not bad. You pick that up at about level 20 once you've progressed in the game a little bit. It's nothing great to write home about, but it's not bad. There's a different car that SLS is in its class that is super omega mega dominant meta that you're going to want to have. So I would recommend not buying this pack. Neither one of these cars is very good. The Land Rover Range Rover is like not good. It's an off-road car. There's a different one that you're going to buy for sure because it's way more meta. So out of the two, the Streets packs is one to be slept on for sure. The Sharps pack is decent for one specific reason, and it is the Jaguar F-Type SVR Coupe. That vehicle is super dominant. It is on the top of every pre-release leaderboard right now. Anybody who bought the Gold Edition got the game early. And that Jaguar is on the top of a lot of things. Mind you, as a player base, we've not had a lot of time to test all the cars, but that F-Type is good. So if you were going to buy one of the two editions, you get the Sharps edition because it comes with the Jaguar. Now, whatever edition you buy doesn't matter. You can still join either clan when you get into the game. That's going to be up to you. No big deal there, but as far as buying the editions goes, the Jaguar is worth, the Audi is kind of a moot point. There's other cars that are better in that space, but the Jag's worth. So if you were going to buy one of the two above the base game, buy the Sharps. That's my recommendation. Let's play the game. Let me show you what we've guys got going on here. We are in the menus. There's a lot to be had. Let me show you everything that I can. I need to make it very clear, this game is not cross-platform. So if you buy it on PC, your PlayStation and your Xbox homies are out of luck. You guys are not playing together. This game is also region locked. So I'm in North America. I can only play with my North American brethren. I cannot play with any of my friends from Europe. That sucks. We also have separate leaderboards. So we compare notes in Discord and whatnot, but there's no way for us to tango. And that is a limitation right now. They have made rumblings from the developer side that they're looking to do a cross-platform patch later on or make that function for us, but the region lock situation is probably not going to change ever, so be aware of that going in. You guys don't buy something you can't play with your friends if that's what you're expecting. We are going to start the settings off with a banger. If you are a sweat, a try-hard, somebody that wants to have the most control over the car, change your steering inputs to what I'm about to show you, and it's turning your car into like pro mode. I made this change after about 15 or 20 hours of gameplay, and in addition to that, I'd already played the entire beta that way, so it was a huge difference to me, and it was basically like putting wheel mod if you ever played Motorfest with us. It makes it so the car is much more twitchy, the wheels turn a lot faster, it's awesome, but it is like turning up the difficulty settings by a lot, so make sure you take note of what your existing stock settings are first before you make the change to this, because if you don't like it, you're going to want to go back because it is a very abrupt change and it does make the cars a lot crazier. So you're going to go into your settings and you're going to go over to controls, tab 2, and then you're going to go down. I run automatic clutch. I have that on, and then just to make it so it automatically shifts, all I have to do is go through and press the buttons. I don't like to actually use the clutch itself. Everything else is up to you. These menus are all going to be personal preference, button mapping wherever you like, but steering is not. We all use the left thumbstick for the most part, so this is where you change this sweet setting. So go into where it says steer left, and you're going to go advanced setup, and then sensitivity you're going to put to 0.0. Dead zone you're going to put to 0.1. I have a good dead zone on my controller. If you have a bad dead zone where you have some stick drift where it's not always centered, you might turn that up. Saturation, I have it 100%. Reduction interval, I have that off, and then invert is yes. Make sure you follow that exactly. Steering right, advanced, go sensitivity 0.0, dead zone, whatever. Saturation 100%, then reduced interval is X, and invert is also X. What that does is that's going to set up your steering inputs to a very direct, like 1-to-1, and it works really good. While we're in the settings menu, if you are playing on PC, I'm going to make it quick for you PC guys. If you are struggling with frame rate, come and turn off your shadows, turn off your motion blur, and there's a few other things you can do. Post-processing is going to save your butt a lot. I would turn most of that off, and you're going to bring your frames up quite a bit. Okay, settings out of the way. Let's go through some of these menus, and let me show you just what you need to know so you can be tracking the game so you can get the most money and XP out of everything there is to be had. Alright, we've got the car settings dialed in. If you do the pro settings like I just showed you, you're going to be fast AF. It's awesome. But turn it back. Remember your old stuff if you can't. Okay, let me show you some of the tabs. You can read a bunch of the stuff I don't need to show you because it's not that important. But a couple things I want to touch on for sure. Instant challenges. This is the free roam bets that you and other people are going to be able to participate in. When you're out walking around, you can walk up behind somebody or drive up behind another player and you can instant challenge them. Turn this on. The amount that you turn it on for is what other players see on you. So if somebody wants to bet me, they need to pay 50 grand. And then we go race, and it's awesome. Duelist rank 1000 is something you should turn on, so that way other players, if they see you, they can roll up and like try to instant challenge you. When that happens, it gets a notification. It's like, hey, you have an instant challenge, do you want to do it? You can say yes or no, and then it loads you and the other racer into a separate screen, you guys, and go and race. Like, it's awesome. Whatever car you have equipped at the time you agree to that is going to be the car that you are driving, so don't get baited. If you are out in like a daily driver, chill, like new car, and somebody in a supercar rolls up and they want to race you, you're going to get dusted because there's disparity between the two classes. So make sure that if you are going to do an instant race with somebody, that maybe you communicate with them that you need to change cars, or make sure that you're in the same class or you think you can beat them, because otherwise you're going to lose some money. We've got you set up, we've got your bets. Here's the deal. The economy of this game is not too bad, but it's not like super generous, so you are going to be putting some time in with all of these car purchases. I would really encourage you to subscribe. We're going to be doing some more deep dives on different cars and different classes, so that way we can give you some recommendations. I'm going to give you some freebies in this video that I've already determined are good, so that way you're not out here just like wondering if you're wasting money or not. Right out of the gate, write this down. The Dune Buggy is the car to have. It is the off-road machine. There is no like comparison for this. For off-road racing, this vehicle in front of you right now is the one to get. Just buy it. You can do very minimal upgrades and it will do very well for you. It is better than every other off-road vehicle, period. There is no question. It is like a class of its own. So if you're looking to freebie the off-road races, just buy this, do very minimal upgrades, if any, and you will have tremendous success. Now, one thing we need to touch on is the way the AI works in this game. The AI is progressive and it is adaptive. There is no difficulty setting, there is no slider, there is no button I can press to make this easier. So here's how it works. As you progress in the game, if you are winning and winning and winning, the game will increase the difficulty. And so you will find yourself eventually running expert difficulty AI. And the expert difficulty AI at times can be like Mario Kart when you're absolutely getting screwed and you're in last place and then first place is coming around and they're managing to hit you again because that sounds like it would be really cool and just goes really, really bad. I can already see the writing on the wall. The reviews for this game are going to tank because people are going to say the AI is really bad. I can fix that and I will tell you how to overcome that. Take an L. What I mean by that is this. The AI is programmed to give the difficulty as hard as they can to the player. And on expert, they are so cheaty. They can take perfect lines. They're super fast. They've got better grip. It's like impossible. I struggle my butt off. It's nuts. If you as a player are being honest with the game, it will give you AI that you can beat. So instead of doing a race, halfway through crashing, hitting a wall, and then abandoning the race and then restarting it, because in this game there is no just restart unless you're in time attack mode, which that's fine. You can restart there unlimited. But in each race, what the AI sees is your finished position. So if you are only winning, and when you're not about to win, you're abandoning the race, restarting it, and going again. And so the only races you complete are the ones you're in first place. It's going to give you AI that is literally faster than the world record on that track. I have had situations where I myself am on pace and I'm like 12th in the world. And the AI that beat me, because I got third, is like 10 seconds faster than what the world record is on that track. It's insane. So race every race all the way to the end. If you get last, it will make the AI difficulty easier. If you get middle of the pack, it won't make it tougher. So race the cars, drive the drives all the way to the end, even if you crash, and you will have an AI that is not just totally BS. Just so you know. The map is huge in this game, you guys. Absolutely huge. It's a great drive. There's a lot of cool roads. It's wonderful. You can progress as a player leveling up by just driving. If you start the game and you get the first car, you do no races, and you drive and cover every road in the game that's available, you will be level 41. I'm level 36. So it's worth it to you to go and cover and drive all of the roads and unlock all the zones. You can fast travel most places for free. Right here, like the Solar Hotel Tower, you can fast travel there, and then there's different meeting spots and gas stations. You can fast travel to all those, plus all the different shops where you would increase the car's level and buy parts and whatnot. You can fast travel there as well, plus all the dealerships. So there's a lot of locations very nearby where you need to be that you can fast travel to. It's a lot better for you to drive there, because as you traverse the map, you're going to be unlocking things, and it's going to help you power level much, much faster. So definitely want to do that. There's also a lot of collectibles in the game. Swinging by and picking those up as well is going to give you money and XP in various different forms, and so it's definitely worth it to drive. Big tip there is fast travel as a last resort, not as a first choice, and you're going to end up collecting a lot more money, and it's going to be an overall better experience for you, because there's some tasks and secondary achievements, which I'm going to discuss right now, that require you to travel a certain distance in various cars and various classes. So some of them take a daily driver 500 miles, some of them take a supercar 1200 miles, whatever it might be, and if you're driving everywhere, those are going to come naturally, as opposed to you doing everything else, fast traveling everywhere, then getting these challenges and being like, man, I need to do laps around the map on the highway to get these done. This is so boring. If you just drove around, you'd have them done. So secondary tasks is what I want to touch on. You get these in batches every 5 levels at 30, 35, 40, so on and so forth. You're going to get some different tasks that you can do. This is a great way to get money, and this is a great way to get XP. You don't need to do all of these. Just do what's available, what's natural, what you want to do, but be aware that these are here. They're really worth it. It's a great way to level up. The stickers are a way that you can customize the car, but the money and the XP is really where it's at, and these definitely don't want to be slept on. I've already done 66 of them, and they're really quite worth it. Now, touching on the task that I think is worth doing is great. You can look and see what it rewards. There are some races that I think are bait, and I would like to kind of just bring those to your attention because I don't think everybody should do them right off the cuff. There are some races on the map that require you to have a specific car. Like this one right here, North Face. This requires me to have the Mini Cooper or the John Works Cooper. That car is not like the most expensive, but in the early game when I unlock this, I really don't have extra money to throw at it. So there are a few races that are going to be scattered throughout the map that you are going to unlock as you progress that require you to have a specific vehicle. I would say if you have the car already, cool, go do it. But if you don't have it, maybe wait until you're at a stable economy where you've got most of the cars unlocked and you've leveled up to where you can go back and get those for more of a completionist thing. Because you will spend far more than you gain, and that can be really debilitating in the early game when you're trying to get into the supercars. Guys, the economy is kind of tough. I win a lot of my races. I do a lot of different things to accumulate money. Race line, do PvP. I've got about 4 million bucks. I'm level 36. There are cars in this game that are like $12 million. They're very expensive. They're a huge time sink. And when you're only making 30 or 40 or 50 grand per race, it takes a while to get your money up. So be aware of that. Doing those challenges though, they can reward in excess of 120,000. So driving the map, doing the rewards, unlocking the stuff. I mean, you kind of need to play the game at all parts to really generate enough income to make everything work properly. But that's why I want to touch on these things so you're kind of aware of big scope of what you need to be prepared for, so you're not just wasting money on things that you don't need in the early game. Learn from me because I'm an idiot. So there's these awesome speed traps around the map. They have 3 different stars, you know, slow, medium, and booking it. You get 5, 15, and then 30 grand for these speed traps. They pay out very well. So I thought I was gaming the system. I was like, dude, I'll do it at 5 miles an hour. Then I'll do it like for the 2-star. And then I'll do the 3-star. So that way I get paid out 3 times. If you just go and 3-star on the first go, it pays you out for all 3 achievements. So you just hit them. Go and do the speed traps because they pay out decent. If you get it on the first run, you're gonna make 50 grand if you 3-star on the first go. So once you've got a fast car, it makes sense to kind of go and route these and just go nail them in something that accelerates really good because you're gonna get money quickly. But if you just go around and 2-star all of them, it'll just boop 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 20 grand in your account by hitting it. That's a great way to make a little extra income, and don't think that you need to cheese it like I did because I was doing these 3 times for literally nothing. Some of you will see this automatically. Some of you guys will have no idea this even exists, so that's why I put it in here. You'll see that on the left it says snake in the grass is the race. It says it's a sprint race. The condition is clear at dusk. That condition will change. I would say that about 2/3 of the conditions in this game revolve around some kind of wet. It's either have just rained, it's about to rain, it's foggy, which apparently means it's rain, it's pouring rain, it's a monsoon, and we called Noah. There's a lot of different things that'll get the track wet, and you really want to know when those are coming. So learn which ones are which, so that way if you have an all-wheel drive vehicle for a wet race, you would switch to it. At the very minimal, you would switch from a slick tire compound to a normal tire compound. So just be aware that, you guys, the road conditions are very important. You'll see that that one is clear at dusk. If I look at this other race right above it, this one is stormy at night. So it's going to be a wet one. You want to know that stuff. The conditions are very, very different when that happens. Big recommendation from me is to look into all-wheel drive vehicles. They are not the be-all, end-all, but they are very strong in the wet. They're a lot easier to drive. As somebody that is maybe trying to get a one-size-fits-all car for that class, that all-wheel drive car is going to treat you right. Once again, coming back around to why I recommended that Jaguar, it's a very strong all-wheel drive vehicle, so if you're going to get an updated edition, get that one. By no means am I sponsored by these morons that make this game, and they're not paying me to make this. This is for you. Don't buy the up edition if you don't have to. We have fast traveled our way over to the tuning garage. I want to touch on a few things here. More of an opinion piece, but I think this is really important information. So when you're tuning your car, I would say tune it to whatever level cap is. So like if it's 550 or 450 or 600, Tune the car there and then leave it alone. Every time you level up and you unlock a new tier of parts, it's going to be really, really easy for you to want to come in here and select these things. Each tier of parts to buy a whole suite of everything is pretty much the same every time you unlock it. So if it's $500,000 to level up the whole car, it's another 500 grand to do it again. You do not get your money back, and you cannot sell cars in this game. So all that being the case, only level them up if you need to. You can max your car out pretty early with green parts and then kind of leave it alone. And then as you buy new cars, buy the higher tier part, but don't go above the threshold. Like many races in the daily driver class stop at like 550 or 600. So there's no reason to take a daily driver car and level it above that, because it's just going to down tune it anyway. One thing I will say for the down tuning, the auto setup of the car. When you go to a race, if your car is well beneath the threshold, it'll give you an option to auto level it up to the best performance it can, or down tune it to the performance class that it needs to fit in. It can only up or down tune based on what parts you have purchased. So if you have a car that you have the stock, the performance, the sport, and the super sport all purchased and unlocked, when you go to an event and it has all the parts to pick from, it's going to put the best parts in the car for that event. So if you haven't bought anything, it's not going to give you the option to uptune. If you have lots of parts purchased, it's going to put it in the class a little closer. So be aware of that. If you really want the computer to hold your hand and set up your cars, you probably need to purchase a few more parts. So that's kind of the gift and the curse to all things. It's worth it. It's cool. Setting up the cars is like this. As you go to the cars tab, there's car setup. You're going to have different modes. You unlock these modes as you progress. I think it's level 25. I'm going to highly, ultra recommend that when you get a car and you get in it, go and select the sport handling characteristic right here. You go from stock. It's always on stock. You'll see that the sport option gives me a better top speed, better acceleration. The braking's a little worse, but everything else is improved. And it shows you the increase in the top speed, the 0 to 60, everything there. It's worth doing. If you select that and then you click save, that'll be saved to the car as a default. So no matter what race I go to, it's going to be in sport mode. If you don't do it out here in free roam or go to a tuning shop and do it, and you only do it at the races, it'll only save for that one race, and so you'll have to continue to repeat that. So pro tip, do that out in free roam, get your car set up with sport mode. It's going to give you an improvement there, and that is pretty huge. That was a lot to unpack and uncover. I know I glossed over many things, and we're going to do some deep dives on some of the other content, but that at least gives you a taste of how to get things set up so you can be successful in the game. The last little bit that I've seen asked online a bunch, the radial menu is really important to access. Make sure you have that button mapped to something, and then it allows you to go in and put your windows up and down and turn your turn signals on and stuff. If you want to go like full sim mode, there's a lot of stuff you can do. It's pretty cool. But once you bring up that menu, you can also go to social, to where you can invite your friends or race people. Communication, when you're trying to like be in front of someone, so you can say challenge me or whatever. Like that's how I communicate with people. And then also there's the radio with a lot of different radio stations, and I would encourage you to check that out too. So enjoy the game. It's a lot of fun. Don't stress, buy cars, make mistakes, but if you want the meta min-max hero to zero way of doing things, subscribe to the channel. Videos will be coming out on that, along with some tunes and some builds and some guides. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I am Alex Cornnut, your wheelman. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.